Hello and welcome to Stories on Tuesday and part 2 of Star Trek Resurgence. So, that's where we're going to continue from, The Price of Duty. Part 1 was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the story so far. And how it's presented was kind of nice as well. Nothing felt too weird. But of course, if you want a version of this with no commentary from me, head over to our Ko-fi page.
Here, let me help you.
Yeah, she got hit. Oh, right stick. Oh, smacked. Yeah.
Medical. We've got one wounded at my location. Millie.
Oh man.
It was a choice between her or me. She told me to go, so I went. Just wonder how serious it might be. We haven't even left the starbase yet.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Amat?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolution. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time.
He told us to blow them up,
However, we are successfully moored to the station.
but we disagreed.
Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
He's probably going to be unhappy with that because we told him we'd follow his command. But his command seemed dangerous. I didn't want to blow it up. We had people out there. So here we go. Repercussions of our actions.
You disobeyed my orders. Well,
It's the right decision. It was.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the
you
information I had.
disobeyed my orders. And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
You didn't have the facts.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order. But you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chobak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personal. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chobak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are.
And so it's managing a crew who already will face some tough decisions.
If I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, just boil it down to you did what you had to.
I'm going to say I let you down.
It'll have to be good enough for me.
You placed a lot of trust in me, bringing me here. I feel like I've let you down.
I brought you here for a reason. I'm still sure it was the right one. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart.
That's cool.
So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermont, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and we'll set out for Hotar.
Yes, sir.
Still, you saw on the top left, his profile picture had a red barrier around it. That means he's going to remember that unfavorably. Alright, we're still Act 1 by the way of the story. I can't remember off the top of my head how many acts there are, probably only 3. But each act is broken up into parts. I think we did 4 parts in the last video.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate would sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
So, what's going to happen? Is it going to be nice and plain sailing? Is he going to ask us to take out the ship?
Sit. Sit, everyone.
We're standing.
You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Here we go. There's that sort of classic Star Trek music in the background there. That's nice. Lovely ship shots as well. It is a nice looking ship, the Resolute. Bit of an oddball, but perhaps less of an oddball than the Cerritos. At least there's kind of logic to the bits that make this ship.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Hi, Captain.
You know what? Take this one.
Me?
Engage. Sure, classic.
Engage.
Oh, how's this warp effect gonna look? Yep, there we go. Nice classic one. Yeah, how's this game gonna do with the downtime between events and missions? Ooh.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really.
You don't look fine.
Could be we haven't eaten yet.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Yeah, if you missed the first part, we're a species that needs a regular dose of a certain chemical. I really just, of course I can't remember the name of it. I want to say Duridium or something like that, but it's weird because when we checked the ring earlier in part 1, it was fine. Kind of surprised there's not like a smaller version that we can just wear, kind of like a hip flask or something like that.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest.
That's good to know.
You should worry about yourself. Your iridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the Duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I can say no, it's an honor.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my...
It kind of fits in what happened in the first part as well.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake.
Ooh, tension.
My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. A breakthrough discovery. A major innovation.
No risk, no reward, perhaps?
The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
We all have to chase our dreams, don't we? We need to take some risks. Isn't that why we joined Starfleet?
But not at the expense of other
That's
people's
true.
lives. It's too high a price to pay. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took
Neutral.
guts to defy a directive.
I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture. I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium...
That keeps coming up. I reckon that's going to be a plot point sometime later.
Understood.
And my work here is done.
Makes you wonder if we are going to find some sort of alternative, and like in a crisis, that's how we survive.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay.
Yes, you were.
I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
No one needs to worry.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
That's a good answer.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Yes, it's still neutral in the top left.
Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Well, at least we haven't made an enemy.
Complete the diagnostic sequence, and this shuttle will be cleared for service.
Yes, sir.
Storm in the Hotari region will interfere with our transporters, so we need all available shuttlecraft in working order.
First interaction with him didn't go very well.
I will leave you to your work.
Basically, do not joke with a Vulcan.
I stopped by sickbay and saw Millie. I figured you'd want to know.
Is she mad?
Did she say anything about... Is she mad at me for going in the hatch first?
She had some choice
She
words.
told us to go there
I
first.
tried to smooth things over, but I think you're gonna have to make things right with her yourself. Dr. Duvall said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
Melville. What a name.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks and security, too.
One thing at a time, sure.
Tactical and security are short-staffed.
We'll just have to take things as they come. Control what we can, and roll with the punches.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you're listening to Andorian jazz.
No.
The point is, the right time might never come. So, I'm just gonna roll with it. I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Millie almost got killed out on the hull. And I thought it was important that I just...
Is this some sort of relationship?
Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
Are you okay?
Miranda, is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Maybe even better than fine. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
I feel the same way. Let's go for it. Why not?
You don't have to explain it.
It's a little weird because we were only introduced to Amanda
Between us.
in the first video.
So, do you want to find out what that's?
And apparently there is a history, but we as the player don't know what that is.
For you, and it's there for me.
Let's see where it takes us.
Why not give it a try?
We don't have to put too much pressure on it. Let's just see where this goes.
I like that. Definitely felt some pressure coming down to see you.
These are uncharted territories.
He doesn't seem that
Chemistry experiment.
enthusiastic about it, does he?
You know, with us.
I'm just really glad that you said something.
I've seen how you operate. I couldn't wait for you to make the first move. I'm glad too.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're probably looking for me.
Can't blame him.
What, no kiss? I felt like she was angling towards one.
I'll be seeing you.
Again, there's no, like, huge smile, is there? It's like a little smirk.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Whoa!
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Okay, it looks like they expected that.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain.
That's what we're
Let's
gonna do.
reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
I think that's what we need to do.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Oh, that's not good.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer. You won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
That's USS Excelsior.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Okay then. Right stick. Shuttle. Locked on. There we go. There's some rocks there though, that's what I'm worried about.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Yeah, let's push that up. And that one down. Yeah. Come on, come on. That one. Okay, good, good. Oh. What's that?
That's gonna take out the shuttle.
Yes, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
Shouldn't that be up for the ensign? How are we going to have to get there? Well, what do I have to do? Okay.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Oof.
Got it.
Whoa. Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Come on. Refocus. Oh, wrong stick. It does feel a little weird that it's the shuttle bay with the tractor beam and not like a main one on the ship. But at least the interactions with the controller weren't that bad.
We're on our way down to meet them.
Did we get at least a trophy for that?
Terra firma, so to speak.
Spock?
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Kinda starstruck, isn't he, a little bit? What are you doing, Diaz? Sure, welcome aboard.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer.
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
I had some help because the bridge helped me.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were
Hey,
prepared for our
we
arrival
got a green one up top left.
but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
Well, this states the story to before the 2009 Star Trek movie. What was that? 2401.
Our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable, so we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies.
One of this is going to be important.
What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is
The
not.
storm, I guess.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems, and who knows what it might do to a warp drive.
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock,
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Hey, there you go. That's more of a smile than when we ended up in a relationship. Well, we're at warp, okay. No sort of like shaking or buffeting.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend.
You flatter me, Captain Salam. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador.
We need your experience.
Most
Sure.
diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us
I think that's a good save.
We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
So what's going to be the tipping point?
Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system.
Huh.
That is the official story, as told by the Hotari.
What do you think?
Requested Federation
A third party's got involved?
The details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Let's see how they retaliated.
Have the Illydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet in open war.
Unless someone has souped up their ships.
Will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing.
They'll still be exploited.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not merely the absence of war. And as such, this conflict will surely come again.
The captain does seem to have a more of a short-term goal in mind.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention.
Oh.
In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illydians as a source of dilithium.
I mean, that's what the captain knows.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and
So I guess we're culpable.
So we've already played a part in this.
Unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Commander Ryder.
We're morally obligated to make this right.
Hold on. Our only obligation is to negotiate the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
Given the Federation's involvement
Hey, another one for Spock.
trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
what worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship and the ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the
It's a perfect storm. It really is.
But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity and they took it.
That would also explain the Illydians' restraint.
Reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own.
It's not a bad little briefing, was it?
Understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here. We're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
I mean, that's a prudent call of action.
Dismissed.
One that I'd perhaps try and follow myself.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Ryder.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives.
So he
of the
wants
Federation.
unofficial.
But someone in an unofficial
There you go.
capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Ryder could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional.
I'm not a diplomat.
But I'm not opposed to it.
With all due respect, Ambassador, I'm not a trained diplomat.
That's exactly what we're going to leverage.
I began my time in Starfleet as a science officer, not as an ambassador. We must be adaptable in the line of duty.
Well, I hope
Another green one for Spock.
more luck
Okay.
finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations begins.
So I guess we don't have to be so worried about how they view us. We can be a little bit more rough, I guess, because we're expected to be rough. And we're expected to be different from the captain and the ambassador. Sounds interesting. I wonder what examples we're going to get, how this works. It's thinking about loading. There we go. Remember, this is the PS4 version of the game. The PS5 version may be a little bit more streamlined, a little quicker loading.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock.
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting
Very
with his
Vulcan,
shuttle as
this
if it
guy.
was somehow transubstantiated through its association with it. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
He's just a normal shuttle.
When you look at it logically, yes, it is just a shuttle. No different than any of the others.
There is plenty that is different about it, and that is what you are to investigate. But please limit your findings to observable
Yeah,
scientific
it didn't feel like there was going to be a win-win situation in those choices.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
One nice thing about
Neutral.
Vulcans,
That's a plus.
Chobok is the only person who didn't look at this and treat me like I was something to pity. Doc says I should get used to it.
Let's just
Doesn't
say
mean I'll be reminded of
apology.
it every minute of the day.
I'm sorry I went first.
Now that sounds like self-pity, and I'm even less interested in that.
Millie. Okay.
Let's just crack the shuttle open and see what we're dealing with.
Alright.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
So... Why aren't we clicking it? There we go.
So... I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm
That
happy
eyebrow is really high.
you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
Have some faith.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done?
Yeah.
No, it's the shuttle's registry. NCC 2000. It's the same as the Excelsior, the main ship.
From the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Or maybe the ship's data reporter can tell us something.
Where is it? There it is.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Well, warp cascade.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Either that or sabotage.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
What's that one?
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I think sabotage.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions.
I didn't click anything there.
Complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
Yeah, let's do warp coils.
Don't complicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
It would be more fun. Because they're right in front of us. Equip and R2 to scan. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's get a little closer. L1 and R1. And L2 analyze. Okay. So that's one. Has changed to that one. And L2. I'm pressing these together. Yeah, normally targeted. Radiation. Ah, you gotta hold down R2. Okay, so let's change that to biological. I'm not detecting anything. Okay, chemical. No fractures detected. Okay. Doesn't really seem to be anything there either.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Oh, she's on security. Do you think something tragic's gonna happen?
Hey,
I'm not here.
we're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride.
Well, it's time for you. Let's try and be a little lovey-dovey.
I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
No, that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
Bunch of no names.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now. More important things on the
Kiss her, why not? Sure.
That was
She wants to be precise. Let's be precise.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You got a deal.
Are they going to take the same shuttle? This is a different shuttle.
Be seeing you.
It's a different shuttle, okay.
It's Larda Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go.
Yeah, we've got to figure out what's wrong with the shuttle.
Alright, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it.
What does that mean?
Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Okay.
Running now. Same. Warp field inversion and the cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the
That's what I was saying earlier. We could do warp.
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
I'm kind of enjoying this little mystery.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are ungrained.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, should work just fine.
I don't like unless. Because unless typically means boom.
Run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity warp 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane
So how did we warp in?
Bingo.
Whado?
same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Well, that's not good news. That looks nice. It's nice to get outside the ship. This might be the final act we do for this for today. It'd be nice to meet everyone.
Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Saltaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari.
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Likewise, I hope.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation.
Yeah, that was an audio glitch in my end as well.
In the galaxy, or so we've been led. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But
painfully, the subtitles are on.
We're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Sidron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Perhaps the ones we need to talk to.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here. If you're
snooty.
I think we're about to begin.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here. That guy was something.
I say don't underestimate him. It seems
Something about his
yeah.
tone tells me this won't be easy.
That was my sense as well.
I doubt he speaks for all of Hotari. So I would urge patience until we speak with their queen.
Bit of a stereotype, bit of a trope, but I guess it works. Because we've already now got a villain. And the way the others spoke to us made us sympathise with them. So it's very effective. Didn't bow. Show you deference.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Elydian control.
Blunt and to the point.
For centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
Show respect.
Point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
Saying this wouldn't be easy was an understatement. I thought they wanted us here.
She's tough.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the code yard?
Oh.
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can she? Then let her.
Alright, what options we're gonna get? I wonder if this is because we show deference to her.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobyard, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobyard is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobyard suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh no. Peace.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered, and I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered.
Basically, like an eye for an eye.
Perhaps, Commander Ryder. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No. It was not.
Unfortunately, I don't know what happens.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines, and it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here?
Because we have our own.
I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
Dilithium is a factor.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in.
Remember, they want us to be outside of the peace negotiations.
One does not preclude or prevent the other. But that's just my personal opinion.
You know, we're meant to be the outsider here.
I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said,
Neutral.
not deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without a Lydian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on town? Who should the Federation
Oh no.
recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
Oh no.
Only be one or the other, not both.
Hotari.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just
This is
and wise
There was no winning that.
Any other choice.
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We'll take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
Go on, let him have his way.
I suppose there is some sense to that.
She's got to look the part. She's got to play the diplomat, hasn't she?
I hope we meet again, Jaro Noy.
Oh boy. Spock scowled at us, and the captain doesn't look too pleased either. But they told us to not be the diplomat. That's the thing.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk.
There's got to be something else on that moon.
What happened to those mines?
Oh well, they're the guards. This the art's nice. Is this someone we can interact with? There's nothing's come up to say interact with them. Guess not. Nice view as well.
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
I was kind of expecting a little quip from him there.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
Hanging Ambassador Spock, yeah.
If anyone deserves thanks, it's Ambassador Spock. No one is more invested in negotiating a peaceful settlement to this conflict than he is.
I'm so glad. We need his help before the situation escalates further than it already has. It's been very trying.
Well, tell us why.
For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
They're against peace?
I take it they're against a negotiated peace with the Illidians.
Heroes tend to want more of what made them heroic. If it were up to them, they'd wage all-out war and bring ruin upon us all.
Huh.
My fear has been that the Illidians will launch an attack and crush us. We've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to. But it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of.
Okay.
It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Ironstorm?
But it has no teeth. That they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Lydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference.
Doesn't seem convincing though, does it?
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted.
There's something in the mines. There has to be.
No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
What did they find there?
I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
What do we think?
I made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Are you sure?
Are you sure of this?
It's been the talk of the palace since the day of the revolt.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
When there's two species close together, you wonder if there's like a third one that used to be there, or a common ancestor.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
But it's so hard to try and think of one particular thing that's happening. Like, are they orchestrating it? Is he working for them? Let's talk to them. Let's see what they got to say. We haven't heard their side yet.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
It's not my concern.
Of all my concerns, dilithium is not one of them. I could care less about securing a supply, now or in the future.
We have many supplies.
I'd be curious to know if the rest of the Federation shares your indifference. Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Was that a good thing?
I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
I guess he doesn't believe in coincidences.
The storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, very
convenient.
At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
You sound skeptical. You do.
You sound skeptical.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy.
Perhaps the moon's a weapon.
I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they say.
That helps explain it, I guess.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
So perhaps the thing they found on the moon was an old weapon of some description.
Commander Ryder, I need a moment of your time.
Sure.
I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elidians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
There, he suffered enough, sure.
The Hotari have suffered enough at the hands of...
I want him to talk. Perhaps by agreeing with him, he might be more open to talk, or at least tell us what's happening.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elidians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. Had to be decisive, before the Elidians could even realize their worst nightmares.
Don't you fear retaliation?
I'm curious why the Elidians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing, courage is another. The Elidians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship. The Resurgence. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest
Yeah,
warship.
not quite.
Ready to contend with anything the Illyrians might have in store. Or is that not true?
They can hold his own.
Maybe I've misjudged it.
I wouldn't say state of the art, but the Resolute is plenty capable and can hold its own against just about anything.
Let's hope so. Because at the moment, it's the only thing preventing them from wiping us
Are you sure that there's nothing else that's preventing that?
Sit on. A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Very mysterious, isn't it? Lots of possibilities. So where's the cap?
Soothing.
Okay.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Illyrians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts...
They can't invite us there to defend them.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability.
No new episode yet.
Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Boom. Okay, just warp failed.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be
Got impulse though.
We need to know more.
Couldn't we slowboat it out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
That was a cheeky little smile. And we will end it there for today. It's already getting quite long. But hey, I'm still getting involved, still enjoying the story. It's how can we say, we're kind of second guessing who's right, who's wrong, the impossible decisions. It's very enjoyable so far, and I'm hooked. There's periods where I just want to watch it and see what happens. So yeah, I'm having a good time, and I hope you are too. And remember, if you want to know commentary, up on our Ko-fi page there will always be a version of this with no commentary. That's typically maybe one day later. But yeah, so of course head there. We also got a couple of subscription tiers as well. Or maybe head over to our YouTube page. We've got other playlists, other shorts, and maybe you'll find them interesting as well. But wherever, whenever I see you again, please take care.